Cronos: The New Dawn might just be the survival horror game we've all been waiting for. It's terrifying, it's smart, and it does one thing that completely changes how you look at every single enemy encounter. So let's dive right into this game because there's a lot to unpack here. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you into old school survivor horror like Dead Space and Silent Hill? Or do you prefer the action heavy style like Resident Evil 4? So I've been playing this game for the past week or so, and honestly it's been one hell of a ride. And what makes it really stand out isn't just the creepy vibe or the jump scares, though oh boy there are plenty of those. It's how it forces you to rethink the way you approach survival horror altogether. And for me this is the big one and the one that sets it apart from other games. In this game enemies don't just die and stay dead. If you leave their bodies lying around, they'll merge with other enemies, turning into these absolutely horrifying and stronger versions of themselves. And the first time that happened to me, I was really surprised. I was in a dimly lit corridor with these creepy industrial pipes rattling in the background. I killed this thing, I'm low on ammo, but I think yeah, I'm cool, let's move on. Then I hear this horrible wet squelching sound. I turn around and there are two of the bastards turning in one giant disgusting beast. So how do you kill them? Well, you could use molotovs or flamethrower fuel, whatever you've got, but there's a catch. Those resources are super limited, so you're constantly asking yourself, do I burn this one now and risk running out later, or keep going and hope nothing bad happens? This mechanic for me added so much tension. It's like Resident Evil's Crimson Heads on steroids. It makes every fight feel like a puzzle, and is honestly the most exciting thing about this game. The game itself, it takes place in an alternate 1980s Poland, and it's really something unlike anything I've seen in a horror game. The environments, they are filled with these massive cold brutalist buildings, like imagining a towering grey concrete walls, hallways that feel endless, and everything is lit by flickering, sickly yellow lights. It's creepy. And why? Because it feels like a place that could actually exist. There's no haunted mansion fantasy here, it looks real. And the storytelling is also one thing that works really well in this game. You pick up on little details as you explore. It's like a deserted factory floor with half-finished propaganda posters or a child's toy left on a blood-stained bench. So for me, the setting isn't just scary, it's also unique. It's not another space station or zombie-infested American town. It's culturally rich and politically charged, which makes the horror feel grounded. And the narrative, yeah, it's pretty deep. It's something that surprised me about that game, that beneath all the blood and the monsters, there's actually a deep philosophical story going on. And there's another extra twist. There's a whole time travel element woven into the plot. At one point, you discover clues about past events that completely change how you see the world. It's like finding a photo of someone who shouldn't even exist yet. It messes with your head in the best way. And depending on the choices you make, you will get different endings. I don't want to spoil too much, but one ending had me sitting there in silence for a good minute, just processing what I'd seen. And the best part, if you like games that make you think, as well as want to make you scream, this story delivers. And hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown so far, please consider subscribing to my channel, and also feel free to let me know in the comments which horror game messed you up the most. For me personally, it's still the original Dead Space, but yeah, this one most definitely is in my top 5. And now a bit about how this game looks. On a technical level, Cronos is gorgeous in a horrifying way. The lighting for me, it felt insane. There is one section in a flooded underground area where your flashlight beam cuts through the darkness and you see something just out of reach moving in the water. For me, it felt like cinematic level stuff. And performance wise, I played this game on the PC and I didn't have any significant issues. Solid frame rates, no major bugs. or any other strange glitches. And it's really nice to see a horror game launch which is finished and looks this polished. I think Callisto Protocol could learn a thing or two. And let's not forget to mention the sound design. It's amazing. The enemies, they have these wet gurgling noises that make your skin crawl. And you always will know when something's about to merge because of this distinct bone crackling sound. It really got under my skin. But there's one thing I didn't like about this game, and that's the combat repetition. So yeah, it's not a perfect game. Early on it works, the fusion mechanic keeps fights exciting. But once you've seen the same 3 enemy types a dozen of times, it starts to feel a bit samey. And also, I felt that mid-game there's a section where you're basically clearing out wave after wave of basic enemies. So there isn't any puzzles, no exploration, just the same old combat over and over again. Also, I felt the shooting, it's really okay, but the melee combat, it's kind of clunky. There's this delay in your swings that made me miss a lot of hits, which I know should have landed. And although this is nothing game breaking, I do feel it's worth mentioning. So okay, it's that time again. My final thoughts about Cronos. For me, it's one of the most innovative survival horror games I've played in years. The fusion mechanic is totally genius. The setting is unforgettable and the story goes places that few horror games dare to go. If you're a fan of old school horror like Dead Space or Silent Hill, you really need to play this game. Even if you're more into modern action horror, it's worth experiencing for the atmosphere alone. And sure, yeah, the combat it gets a bit repetitive, but honestly, the rest of the game more than makes up for it. So that's all from me. I'm wondering, have you played Cronos already? Let me know the craziest fusion creature story in the comments. I want to hear how badly this game messed you up. And as always, if you enjoyed this review, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. It does really help me out a lot. For now, I want to thank you all for watching and see you the next time.